Hello. It's time to share some information about a trip that I took a few weeks ago. I went to Amish country. So, Amish country is about 8 hours from my house, and it was a great time. So, I am so excited to be able to share with you a little bit about that trip. Thank you for thank you for coming to my channel. My name is Cindy, and thank you so much for coming here. I am so excited to share with you a little bit about my trip. I'm going to show you some pictures, and I don't have a major video about it. I'm just going to kind of like do an album show here today. So I was so excited. A friend of mine who's been coming to my church, she's now a really good friend of mine. Her daughter works at the Sight and Sound in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And they set up a weekend. Now, it was really hard for me to get a weekend away. I'm telling you right now. I am really busy and there's a lot going on, and it was just one of those things you had to just do it, right? So she set up a Airbnb and we just did it. We went out early on a Friday morning. It took us 8 hours to drive there, and then we went in, we looked at some shops, and then we went to our Airbnb. We kind of freshened up a little bit, and we met the owners of the house. It was amazing. I will go ahead and post the link below this video of the place that we went to if you're interested in going. It was like an upstairs downstairs house, and we were able to use the upstairs. They had like 3 bedrooms. One of the bedrooms was like an efficiency. It had a refrigerator and a little place you could make coffee, and like a little living room. And there was a bed in there, so you could use it as a bedroom or a kind of a sitting room. And then there were also 2 other bedrooms. And the owners, they just loved to talk to people. They were Amish. I think they were brought up Amish, but now they're just, I don't know, owners of a really cool house. But they had this cutest little garden. This little stump had a little window in there, and in the window there were little people. It was so adorable. My grandmother would have loved it. They had this really cute little rock garden type thing, and there was water that came out of that. And when you drove up to their house, this was what their yard looked like. It was a short little driveway, and their house was so cute, and they had these really nice gardens. Okay, so this shows you a little bit about the area, and it was so beautiful, especially after all the gardening that I've been doing. So many beautiful flowers, and everything was just perfect. So then we went inside. Here was a little bit of the ride. If you watch this, I'll go back to the beginning. There's like a horse and buggy. So there were horse and buggies along the way. This was my friend, she was driving, and I was trying to get some horse and buggies in a video. And this is a little bit of the scenery. There was a horse and buggy there. And these are the shops that we went to. I got some jellies, and I got some like chips with some, I don't know, some salsa. And there's my husband. He was buying, I don't know what maybe he was buying my stuff. But we also got some fudge. So here's a little bit more of Amish country, a little bit more of the drive. It was awesome. So here we are doing our little getaway, and here's my friend. I just loved how they did the coffee. I know that's kind of normal for like lattes, but it's really special for me. Now this was hilarious. Outside the restaurant that we went to, there were these goats, and I didn't even see the little thing you put money in, and you just would get them some food. So they just came running. It was hilarious. There were lots of goats just right next door to the restaurant. So that was really awesome. Then we went to the Sight and Sound in the evening, and I have some pictures I'm going to show you in a little different way. So this was inside the Airbnb. This is a cute little picture. I loved their little shelves and all the fun stuff they had for kids. So here's Sight and Sound, the outside of it. I thought that was really interesting. And there we are in front of it, and there's a lion, and it's in front of a lamb. So the lion's laying down with the lamb. So that was really awesome. And there's the inside. That was really cool. And Sight and Sound. Now, you weren't allowed to take pictures during the show, but this was the crowd. I think there was over 1,000 people. And if you do want to go, you have to get your reservations quite early. This was actually after the show. This is a picture after the show. And it was really amazing how they would do the traffic. It emptied out really quick. So they are booked like every day and night for like months. David is almost over, but they're going to be doing Moses next. So I really want to go to Moses. So there it is, Sight and Sound. Now, Sight and Sound is an amazing thing. We just had the greatest time, and it took the story of David, and there was music, there was passages of scripture, and there were a lot of like, they were acting it out. But if you've never been to Sight and Sound before, they have like 3 sides. They have the 2 sides here and the front, and they have lots of different movements of scenery, and really awesome situation. We got to go the next day to see the behind the scenes. They have their own costumes, obviously. They have animals. They have like a little farm where they have their animals, and they have, during this viewing of the Sight and Sound, at some points in the story, they had sheep that were coming down all the aisles, like from the back, and they would run down the front, and the sheep knew exactly where to go. They would come down the aisles, they would come down the sides. At one point in the story, somebody came with a message on riding a horse. They rode the horse right down the center aisle to David in the front. And it was just an amazing story. I don't know what else I could say about it. It just really captivated me. It helped me to, put myself into the story. I do like the King James Version, so I guess I would have really preferred the King James Version of the Bible when it was quoted. But there were lots of passages where you would see where David would have a situation in his life, and then it would bring out the passages that he wrote at the time of that certain experience. It started out when he was very young and he's watching the sheep, and then it kind of went throughout his life, and at the very end it was kind of like when he died, that he went up to the Lord. And the show itself, I think it was over an hour. It might have been 2 hours long. It was very long. Did have an intermission, and the building itself had concessions that you could buy. There was an intermission. The building itself is beautiful, and I was just enthralled with the whole thing. I really do want to go back to the Moses story. And it was just a great time. It was a great time. I want to thank my great friends for taking us there. It was their idea. They planned the whole thing. I'm always so busy, I don't have time to do stuff like that. And so my friend, she planned the whole thing. She actually drove, and she knew exactly what we needed to do when, and it was just a great time. So if you ever get a chance to go to Sight and Sound in Lancaster, go for it. It's totally worth it. We drove down on a Friday. We got there early enough that we could freshen up and go to some shops. We went to eat, and then we went to the show. After the show, we pretty much just went back to bed. And then the next day, we got up and we had breakfast together. And then we were able to have a tour behind the scenes. So that was really cool. And then we went ahead and we went home. We came home on a Saturday. So it was only a 2-day excursion, but it was totally worth it. It was a blessing. It also, the money that was paid out was given to us by the church for a pastor appreciation week. So that was awesome. So thank you to whoever invented Pastor Appreciation Week, and thank you to my church family for caring enough to help us and to encourage us to get away, even if it was for a couple of days. So it was a great time. If you get a chance to go, I would suggest it. And if you get a chance to go to an Airbnb run by Amish people, it was just a really great experience. It was like you were kind of going to your family. Some people don't like that because they don't want to talk, but I think that you could do it however you want. If you don't want to talk, you could have easily gone in and just said, hey, I'm just doing my own thing, and go in and go out at your own convenience. But it was really great. When you walk in the door of the house, you were like in the living room, and then you would go right upstairs to the area that is rented. And it was really fun and exciting, and I can't wait to do it again. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I was glad to share this event with you. Let me know if you have any comments. Have you been to Sight and Sound? I know there's another one in Missouri, and I believe that they have the same shows at the same time. There's also a new show being put together as we speak, but it's a big secret. I have no idea what show it is. They do have several shows. I know they also have a Sight and Sound channel. I don't know that much about it, but they did advertise it while we were at the show. They also have Sight and Sound, the movies that you can rent and watch, just as a movie, which I think would be really fun. Might whet your appetite, but I doubt that it's anything like being there for yourself. So I hope you can go if you haven't already. If you have, let me know in the comments. And thank you for watching this video, and I'm anxious to see you again next time. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate your support on my channel. Thank you to all of my subscribers for supporting my videos and just watching. I also want to ask you if you might go ahead over to this new network that I'm working with, and it's called This Way Network. This is a Christian community, and I have a series called Let's Talk Education. And I'm putting up a video once a week on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you could support me over there, I would really appreciate your views, your comments, and check out all the other shows that are on there. This network is run by Michael from Maricopa Mike, and he has some other channels as well. He's also working on a really great movie, I guess, coming up. Like, he's making a book and a movie, and he has all kinds of information on that as well. He has several different things going, and I'll put some information in the comments about that. You can check that out. And thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. I'll see you next time.